The story opens with the protagonist, who I will just call Masa, stepping out of a bath and into a room packed with gym equipment. He immediately heads to the mirror to inspect his physique. After a meticulous self-examination, he declares himself perfect. His self-admiration is interrupted by his younger sister, Chinatsu. She asks if it's even possible for him to be more of a narcissist. Masa retorts that there is nothing wrong with taking pride in one's appearance. Seeing her eating junk food, he calls her gross for consuming those calories at such an hour. When she offers him some, he flatly refuses. He reminds her, not for the first time, to never enter his room without knocking, but she brushes it off, calling him unnecessarily cold. He shouldn't treat her like a stranger. Glancing at a portrait from his past, Masa thinks to himself that he promised he would never be a doormat for anyone ever again. Their mother then enters to announce that breakfast is ready. He is horrified to find a spread of high-calorie food. Unable to eat any of it, he tells her he has to get to school and leaves immediately. Walking to school, he reflects that he would never touch those calories so early in the day. He stops to check his reflection in a storefront window before continuing. His life's motto is simple: hot or not, that's all that matters. As he walks, girls gawk at him, unable to look away. Masa muses that while normal guys might be content being average, he intends to rule the school with his looks. Passing a tennis court, he stops to peep at the girls' skirts. A group of girls notice a guy watching and they go to confront the culprit. However, they pass by him, and they go to confront the guy behind him instead. They accuse the stranger of being a pervert and taking pictures. Masa realizes the other guy is just unlucky. He was the one actually ogling them, and tries to slip away before things escalate. However, a group of girls spots him and asks if he's the new transfer student. They invite him to play tennis and practice with them. The girls from the court flock to him, asking if he really aced the entrance exams while showering him with compliments. Seizing the opportunity, he charmingly tells them he was just admiring how hard they were practicing. Watching them swoon, he confirms his worldview. In this society, being hot is the only thing that matters. He feels confident that his plan will work. Upon arriving at the school building, he finds a massive crowd gathered to witness a confession to the cruel princess. She appears at the top of the building as the boy below tries to riz her up, claiming they are a perfect match. In response, she pulls out a microphone. She reveals she did a background check on him, exposing his secrets, including a creepy hair that grows from a mole on his chest. The crowd immediately tries to avoid him. With a smirk, she announces she has a special name for him. She unfurls a banner that reads Molio. The crowd turns on him instantly, with one girl remarking she can't believe she ever thought he was cool, noting the princess is as ruthless as ever. Masa is momentarily terrified, reconsidering his life choices after witnessing such a brutal rejection. However, he quickly pulls himself together. Just then, he and the cruel princess, Aki Adagaki, lock eyes, both noticing each other for the first time. In the darkness of a memory, a cruel voice echoes, declaring she would never fall for someone like him before labeling him with the name Pig's Foot. Masa jolts awake in his classroom, screaming. He realizes he let his guard down and fell asleep. The class representative, Futaba, approaches to greet him. He is inwardly amazed that, as a hot guy, he can even get away with drooling and shouting in class. Just then, Kojiro returns from the cafeteria, and he asks if he hasn't eaten yet. He offers to share his haul, and while the class rep watches him with admiration, Masa calculates the calories. He realizes a single piece of that bread contains a full meal's worth of calories. He'll have to work extra just to compensate. Kojiro praises him and calls him impressive. He says he can only think of one person who matches his feats, but before he can explain, Aki Adagaki sweeps into the room. She goes up to Masa's desk and coldly asks if the person she's looking for is there. Caught off guard by her sudden presence, Masa stammers that he isn't sure. The boy she's hunting reveals himself. Instead, Aki sits on a nearby desk and begins a systematic public humiliation. She tears his love letter to shreds in front of the entire class, branding him with the ridiculous nickname, Pudding Prince. The boy can only watch as she turns and exits the room. Masa asks, what is her problem? Kojiro explains the reality of their school. Aki is beautiful and boasts the highest grades, but she is far from kind. She harbors a deep hatred for all men, bestowing a cruel nickname on anyone brave or foolish enough to confess to her. Because of this, the entire school calls her the Cruel Princess. The moment Masa hears her full name, the pieces of the puzzle fall into place. He recognizes her instantly. Bolting from his seat, he rushes to the door, catching up just in time for a tense face-off in the hallway. He hadn't expected it to be this easy to find her after all these years. The game is finally on. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.